What? Thank you. I got it. Thank you. We're going to start off today with 6-rep max here on the shoulder press. Juice and engagement is just not here today. I didn't get to play my pickleball. I don't have league until 8 p.m. tonight. So we're going to grind through this session and hopefully something good comes out of it. Let's go. So we're going to start talking about pre-programmed stuff because otherwise my brain is just not going to generate the creative juices that we had going the rest of this week. But Dr. Barkley, I really know. I should probably do a little bit more research on Dr. Barkley, but I was shared one of his YouTube videos on nicotine use with ADHD people. And one of the cool things they have found in his study was that nicotine helps treat ADHD. And the main takeaway from this study for me was he was talking about how people that start smoking, everybody kind of starts smoking for the same reasons or using nicotine for the same reasons, like it looks cool, it's a peer pressure, whatever it is. And what he found is people that have ADHD, their reliance on nicotine gradually increases throughout the years, where they all start at the same point, but the people that are actually getting benefit from the nicotine, the reliance on the nicotine goes all the way through the roof, right? And they're looking at ways to like synthesize nicotine in a non-carcinogenic way. Obviously, not smoking it is the best way to get rid of that, but they've also found that if you take away the addictive component of the molecule of nicotine, it's not as helpful for the ADHD people. So that was kind of wild too. I just thought it was kind of like a cool thought process on, we have all of these drugs and tools at our disposal, and certain people use certain drugs to self-medicate, to actually help them, right? The people that use nicotine, a lot of times are using nicotine for a reason, like it actually helps the brain. For me, I made this tweet, or I texted one of my buddies, my nicotine is my SSRI. Like when I use nicotine, my brain feels like it actually works. It feels like it's it's a better version of caffeine for me. I get less of the jitters, more happy, feel like I can articulate thoughts, my brain just gets clearer. And obviously, I think a lot of that was just because it was a novel drug for me. Like the first time taking caffeine, you feel all wired and great. And it's a novel drug for me. I've only used nicotine for I think like 6-ish months now, but it was a massive benefit for me. And I just kind of like that thought process of using the drugs at your disposals, all these tools that you have, and then understanding why you're using the tools, not abusing the tools, but using those tools to help self-medicate in a sense. And if I'm going to pick between Adderall or nicotine for somebody that is struggling with ADHD or any of the issues that nicotine is helping them with, I'm picking nicotine all day, every day. But really thought that was a cool thought process of everybody kind of enters in and uses these drugs to start for the same reason, and then they branch off into it's actually helping them or it's not, and then the reliance on it kind of grows from not necessarily the addiction piece, but more so the self-medication piece. I think the same thing can be said for something like alcohol. And obviously, a lot of these drugs have the downside, but for me, the alcohol doesn't have the upside. I know people that nicotine doesn't have the upside for. I know people don't get as much out of microdosing. People that typically aren't on like the depressive end, I mean, they take microdose and they feel good and whatever, but like when I take a microdose, it completely gets me out of like deep funks, right? So I think I look at microdosing as a way to get rid of SSRIs and all the negatives that are associated with SSRIs. So I don't know, I just like the thought process of you having all these tools, understanding the positive of the tools, understanding the tools that can actually help you, and then understanding the negatives of the tools. For me, alcohol is all negative. I don't get any positive from it. I just feel slow. I don't even get bubbly or fun or anything. Like I don't get angry. I don't get anything from alcohol, but I would get all the negative of like just feeling slow and groggy. So there's no point for me to use that. But like society pushes you to use certain drugs rather than using the drug that can help you the best. For me, right now, it's nicotine and microdosing. So just a thought process there. I'm not recommending you use any drugs or do anything. I just think it's a cool way to look at all of the tools that we have access to. So let's get after it. Moving the camera angle a lot here because we're in a super compact gym, and I went during the busiest time of the day because I was a bum and didn't get my post done. It took me forever. Even the creative juices for the post today just took me forever to get everything kind of going. Brain wasn't working. Wasn't down today. It's just like one of those days where your brain is just like not doing much, you know. Don't love those days, don't hate those days, but it's one of those days. On the previous rant with the nicotine use, one of the things I was just talking to Dom about on the 40-day fast is he found when he was judging some of his PT people, he would look at them and be like, well, you're 40 pounds overweight. Like, of course you're in fucking pain. Of course you have all these issues, whatever. And he would like really, really judge them in that sense. And he was saying what he found is he would look at those persons and he would have a physical quality that they don't have and judge them for that physical quality. But they had so many components in their life that they had that he didn't have. And once he started looking at those components in their life and looking like, well, they're way more compassionate than me, they're way smarter than me, they have this skill set in accounting, and I'm judging them for the physical aspect, like the 1% of life that I'm better at them at, and I'm taking it as like the answer into life. And I think a lot of us do that in a lot of skill sets. I think that can be applied to the same thing with the drug use. It's like if you're an alcohol user or you're a nicotine user, like I used to really heavily judge people for drinking or heavily judge people for smoking, and a lot of it was just uneducated kind of like thought processes and views on a lot of these things, rather than realizing, oh, that thing is actually helping them. And for some people it's not, I get that, but for some people it is. For some people for some people the alcohol feeling is a very similar to like the mushroom feeling that I get on mushrooms. It makes them more loving, it makes them more bubbly, right? And I was judging those people because I didn't get that, right? In the same way that we judge people in the fitness world of like, you're not physically fit, but I'm not mentally fit in the way that you're mentally fit. I think the same thing can be said along the lines of all these drugs and the things that you're using, whether it's caffeine, coffee, whether it's your addiction to food, whether it's addiction to nicotine. Like I think we all have vices. Understanding and minimizing the vices, but also understanding a lot of these vices have a positive in our life, understanding why we have these vices, and can we maximize the positive, minimize the negative, and rather than just ignoring the conversation altogether, which I think a lot of people do. They just ignore that they have vices, they shit on other people for having vices, and then their vices in turn just grow, right? Whether it's an addiction to working out or softball or whatever it is, it's like we all have our addictions, we all have our vices, and the less we admit to that, the less we relate to fellow humans that also have those vices, I think the more our own vices grow and we get lost in our own sauce. So I think it's a dangerous way to think, and I think it's a silly way to think. We're all humans. Let's get benching. Let's go. Let's get shoulder pressing. Let's go. All right, we're gonna make either this our last set, or if this is super clean, we'll add one more set to the rep, and then we'll find, we got a decline bench here, we're gonna rip, find some pulling, probably do just a straight up lat pull down. I've been enjoying some lat pull downs, and then hit a couple machines and get out of here. Let's go. Sick little 4+2 push press. We're gonna call that a cluster. That was good. Let's get to some decline benching, go from there. All right. We're gonna pair this decline bench. Maybe hit like a 8-5-3-1 on the decline bench. Get a little meathead ripper in. Hit some lat pull downs with this and go from there. This is probably going to be our set of 8. Just get a little pump before we get into our 5s, 3s, and 1s. Hit it, found a lat pull down machine. It's kind of getting in and a little crazy here with the lat pull down machine, so I might have to go upstairs to finish the lat pull downs. I won't record those in between, so I'll hit my 8, I'll hit my 5, I'll hit my 3, I'll hit my 1 here. Today is one of the days, like I said before, I'm dragging ass. Today is the day where if it were up to my brain and I didn't have a schedule in place, I probably wouldn't do a workout today, or I just fuck around in a workout, and I definitely wouldn't be creating content. And that is one of the biggest pieces of advice I give people when they come on consulting calls. If you own a gym, you own an online training platform, you're trying to grow, you're an entrepreneur, you have to treat content creation like a job. So on days when you're dragging ass, you're still creating content. Days when it's not, the ideas aren't popping, and it's gonna be more days than it's not. There'll be weeks and there'll be months where you're on it and you have so much shit to share, especially when you're starting off, you have so much to share. Then there's gonna be weeks where you feel like you have nothing. You feel like you're regurgitating, you feel like you're stepping on words. but it's your job. It is your job to create content. And once you start treating it like a job, you're gonna get so much more proficient at making content, making better content, making more valuable content, and making content that drives people to your business. And if you have faith in your business and what your business does, you should want to drive people to your business. I think that's one of the biggest factors in people not wanting to put out content. At the end of the day, they don't have a ton of faith in their actual business, right? And they feel like sellouts, they feel like scams. And I've been there, right, when I started, right? Like I probably didn't provide as much value as I needed to. I didn't have enough coaching experience. I was like 1 year into coaching, like why should people come to me? And I had a lot of that doubt. And so why should I create content to get people to come to me if I don't believe in it? And I think that's a lot of that imposter syndrome surrounding your content, right? Have faith in your business first and foremost. Develop your business first and foremost. Be really good at what you do. And then the rest of it is you know you have a good product. You know what you do helps people. Now drive as many eyes as you can so you can help as many people and wrap it up together, right? Stop having these two things separate. Stop having these two things siloed. And if you are really good at what you do, you're getting a ton of results and you still have that little bit of imposter syndrome. Remember, Seedman puts out content. Ben Patrick puts out content. You're not going to beat those people. You're not going to save people from going to Seedman route by not putting out content, by bitching about their content, right? You have to put out your own content. You have to attract your own crowd. And every person that you are helping is a person that didn't go to Seedman. Every person that you are helping is not going to knees over toes, and you bettered their movement practice because of it. You bettered their athleticism because of it. You elongated their careers. You got them a scholarship. Like, you have a very positive and powerful impact as a coach, as a gym owner, and all you have to do is make content to get people and help people in that regard, right? But first and foremost, treat it like a job. If you're not treating your content creation like a job, you're not going to get good at it. You're not going to take it seriously. People aren't going to take you seriously. You're going to slack, and consistency is one of the main components when it comes to social media. You got to be consistent. You got to have a posting schedule and commit to something. Commit to something, whether it's 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 5 days a week, something that is consistent for you so people know it, they follow you. They can come back once a week and there's going to be something new there for them. But if you don't treat it like a job, you treat it as social media, you treat it as like goofing around. And I'm not saying take your content seriously, like you can't make memes, obviously, like I'm the meme man. But you have to be serious about making the content. Like you have to make a piece every single day. I have an hour in my day where it's like, this is my content creation time, right? And if it goes over that hour or under that hour, that's perfect. But like part of my 8 to 5, part of my 9 to 5 is content creation. And I think a lot of coaches don't treat that as part of their jobs. They don't schedule it out. They don't think about it. And they get to the end of the day and it's just like, well, whatever, like it's, I didn't do it today. It's like, well, you didn't advertise today. You didn't grow your business today. And when you look at it as growing your business rather than Instagram followers, it becomes a lot more important. And I think people take it a lot more seriously. So treat your content creation like a job, even on days when you're slacking. And on days when you're slacking and you're treating it like a job, it's going to be the same thing. You still show up to your 8 to 5. You still show up to your clients on days when you're dragging. You still show up to your social media page on days when you're dragging. You create that content and you help your business, you help your athletes, and you help your people around you. So let's get it. And on that note of treating it like a job, personal flaw, I gotta do a better job on days when I'm feeling like this. Like I just gotta go to my own gym, work out at my own gym. And I knew going in today wasn't gonna be a high content creation day. Like my brain wasn't working at full capacity. And then I know when I come to Lifetime and there's a ton of people watching and like looking at you with the camera, you're the weirdo with the camera, the fucking guy with the mushroom necklace and long hair, that I'm going to kind of shell up and not be as articulate as I'd want, right? So I have like the double negative. So on days when I'm feeling like this, I gotta do a better job of taking this content seriously and then going to my gym and making a better decision for the content creation piece, right? So just on the personal note, like all of these components of treating it like a job, like there are certain components where like if you want to create good content, set yourself up in a situation to create good content. Today I didn't do the best job of that, but not every day is gonna be perfect. But probably stay at my own gym unless I'm feeling very extroverted that day. We're gonna treat this, we're gonna hit another 8 rep max because the last one was a little too clean for my liking. Then we'll get the 5s, 3s, and 1s. That was a better 8 rep max. All right, we get the 5s, then 3s. Let's go. Elbow felt that a little bit. We're probably gonna cut volume. We're gonna go 3, 1, hit the 1 heavy. But elbow felt a little tight there. Don't want to jack that up before nationals. Coach might kill me. Here we go. But this set of 3, maybe another set of 3. We're just gonna keep volume a little bit lower. Whenever that elbow starts to catch like that, I just cut the volume just so we got league night tonight. Don't want anything stupid to happen with that elbow. Still got a good pump going, feeling nice. And saves a little tank for that 1 rep max. See if we can get something spicy. Maybe rip a 3-plater. That'd be kind of cool. We'll see what happens. Let's go. Shit. 1 rep maxers. Let's get it. All right, like I said before, in between each set here, we're hitting 8 reps on a random pull machine. Every pull machine I've used today has been taken, so we're just rotating randomly. We went regular lat pull down, high pull, mid row, and the last one was a low row. So get a little back pump in there. A couple more sets of 1s. Let's get it. What? Thank you. I got it. Thank you. Oh, appreciate you. Shit you not, this is my 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 8th pull machine that I've used today. Every single one. I literally just went upstairs to be able to reserve a machine, hit a set, came back to set up my camera, and came back and somebody was sitting on the machine. So you can't blame them. I'm not trying to reserve the machine, but it's just funny how that kind of works. So last set here, we'll get 1 set of these recorded, and then probably hit some arms and get out of here. Let's go. Some arms, get out of here, let's go. I'm about as unengaged as you could possibly be with today's workout, so I'm gonna hit 1 rep max curls, finish it up for functionality, and then call it a day. Let's get it. Keep adding weight, let's go. Holy fuck, that's heavy. Now we're gonna finish today off with a little AMRAP triceps, just rep them till we can't, and then say goodbye. Let's go. Come on. All right, say goodbye, get out of here. Let's go. All right, so that's a day. It was about as low energy of a day as you could get. Rating that day a 4 out of 10, effort-wise, intensity-wise, everything-wise. But again, those 4s add up. I'm glad I got a day in. I'm glad I got something done. Glad I got some content done. I think today would have been a day where I would have shown up. Probably got a little bit better of a workout done if I didn't have all the content stuff and trying to think of ideas. Probably just rolled and ripped some arms and everything like that. But again, part of my job, making the content, so we're going to make the content, right, and sticking with that and not letting that little voice in your head. On the podcast, we talked a lot about the voices in your head and all the kind of stories it tells them, and today it was definitely a story where it's like, oh, you have 2 videos saved up, you don't need to make a video today. It's like, bro, stop being a little bitch. So got a video done today, got something done today, put it together. I got these Jocko Mulk drinks. Absolute money. I know I've talked to them before, but if you guys haven't tried the banana cream on these, I'm in fucking love with it. I need to get sponsored by those guys. And a little California chicken sandwich coming up, and then we're gonna go rip some softball. tonight, about 30 minutes from now. I got to drive home. I'm going with Tyler Yerby from Emergence, if you guys know who he is. He invited me to play on his team, so we got a little skill acquisition squad tonight that we should be able to hit bombs with, so looking forward to that. Appreciate you guys putting up with this video. We need to talk about how I was absolutely robbed of that 315. I didn't want to say anything on the mic, but I told him, don't touch the bar unless I'm about to die. And he grabbed it as soon, literally as soon as there was an ounce of struggle. He's obviously not used to random RP12s at Lifetime, but yeah, a little disappointed in that. And he was like, bro, it was all you, it was all you. I was like, I felt you rip it from my hand, but I appreciate that effort. I didn't say anything bad to him. I was just like, thanks, bro. But I was like, dude, don't touch the bar unless I'm about to die. You spawn somebody, don't touch it unless I'm about to die, man. If I can survive my demons, I can survive that barbell, I promise. So, appreciate you guys watching. Keep chopping wood. Back tomorrow. Better energy. Hit some cleans. Let's get it.